So this one's a fun one for me, and this is one I can get really excited about. We've done a whole other presentation on digital storytelling. This notion that we can help children move along a continuum from just consuming media to meaning making with technology, to creating media and being media creators, to digital storytelling and that ability to tell my story via technology, to show you who I am. Look at the images on the screen right now. All four of those images have the same technology in them that kids are using. If you look closely enough, you see it's a digital camera in every image. I actually like the one at the top where the child's using a digital camera to take a digital photo of the teacher and two kids using a tablet computer. That's kind of exciting. But in all of these cases, this is a pretty simple technology, pretty affordable technology, actually a technology we tend to carry around with ourselves every day with our smartphones, right? So this is a place to begin. And when we give the child the opportunity to point the camera in a particular place because that's what they're interested in, it opens up a world of opportunity for them and us. And here's what I mean by that. Let's give kids the tools to take photos, to record audio, especially their own voice. It's so important. Let kids narrate their own story, tell their own story, describe what the picture's about, and hear their own voice. Very powerful cognitive and social and emotional experience for kids to understand their own role in their own learning. Let them shoot little video clips. Let them collect and curate artifacts like the lower image that you see on the screen right now, stuff that was outdoors and we're now going to look at more closely, to document their experiences, to demonstrate their learning, to tell their story. And then the last three I think are particularly important and really speak to what technology does so well. They can save their story. They can share their story with you as the educator, with classmates, with their parents, with their grandparents, right? The story is something that can be shared beyond that moment in the classroom. And then the ability to revisit and come back later and see it again. And I think that's so, so important. This notion of digital storytelling is really so powerful and so simple to get started with because it's about using the affordances of a smartphone or a tablet and letting kids be the storyteller. If you have a smartphone or a tablet, then they can take a photo, record audio, shoot video, do all of these things with that one bit of technology that keeps it all in one place. That's really a big idea. I would give Seymour Papert a nod on this one. These last two slides, and maybe you can tell from my enthusiasm and my voice, are really where tech integration can go across the curriculum throughout the day, indoors, outdoors, wherever we are, kids can tell their stories. And then, of course, back to what we started with, this notion that relationships matter most. We know that children learn best in the context of interactions and relationships with attentive, responsive, and caring adults. So we want to invite interactions and promote joint engagement in the way in which we use technology. We want to strengthen relationships with adults and peers. We want to use tech to promote healthy social and emotional development and to encourage pro-social behaviors. And in the three images that I chose for this slide, you do have an educator, a teacher with a group of kids or two kids all around a bit of technology, looking at what each other is doing, demonstrating, showing for each other. So again, that notion that as we build stories, our stories, your stories as educators, as well as the children's stories, they're so compelling. It's not the screen that's compelling, it's the story that's compelling. But the screen gives us this opportunity to connect in the same way that the screen is giving us an opportunity to share this today with each other. It's not the screen that you're learning from, but the screen allows you to see this content and hear what I have to say. We know that using media together leads to more learning. So co-viewing and joint engagement really matter. If we just apply the lessons we know all so well about early literacy and language development, which is quite simply, if an adult and a child sit together and read a children's book, hugging, holding, and being close, it's a much richer experience than if the adult hands the child the book and they get to page through it. It's the same with technology. When you are together around the technology, and look how around the technology these images are. Socially contingent interactions matter, and that's that video chat moment where the child's telling a story to grandma halfway across the country, and grandma's so excited to see the child and hear the story, and she's asking questions and the child's responding. That's that social contingent interaction. That's that serve and return kind of language development that we know so much about. We absolutely know this is critical. Well, the screen can help us under the circumstances that we're under. So look for interactive media and interactions with others. And a reminder that you don't really need, I know, but face-to-face time with children is not just the icing on the cake, it is the cake. Being together is what we all are so eager to have happen again. Your challenge right now is to find a way to be together via the technology that you're using for remote learning. And then teacher education and ongoing professional development matter. Early childhood and elementary educators are not unequipped, but often feel ill-equipped to select and use new technology and digital media for young children. And then I added the words, and for delivering technology-mediated hybrid and remote teaching. You might not feel unequipped, but you might feel ill-equipped, not quite ready, not totally ready to do all this. And certainly in March, when in 1 day's time, you went from classroom to remote, you certainly weren't feeling fully equipped. I like the little cartoon here. Can you help me, Mrs. Martin? This wasn't covered in any of my education courses. And you see total chaos in the classroom behind. We could all agree that remote learning, technology-mediated hybrid and remote teaching was not covered in any of our education classes. We're having to make this up as we go. We're building the plane that we're already flying. And that puts you in a difficult situation. But that's why I also want to re-ground you and I'll let you know you're not coming at this with no knowledge and no ability to make decisions. What do we still need to know for all that we've learned? How does our knowledge of child development theory and early learning guide appropriate and intentional use of tech in the early and elementary years? And I have made the case many times that it does, but we need to understand what can we take from Piaget, right, and bring forward and have it inform our use now. How does 50 years of TV research inform our use of these tools? What are the evidence-based and developmentally informed risks and benefits to young children? Not just risks, not just benefits, risks and benefits to their well-being from screen use. What's the impact of technology on children growing up in our always-on, screen-saturated background media digital culture? What do we really know about what it's like to grow up with this constant noise in our ears and images in our face that young children are facing? What are the implications and unintended consequences of young children using technology tools that were designed for adults? Smartphone was not designed to be a children's toy or tool, neither was a tablet computer, and yet both almost immediately went into kids' hands. So as designers and as educators, we need to be asking ourselves some hard questions about, how are these tools designed and how do they work well for children? And again, around media literacy, how is the content that's coming at kids appropriate or not appropriate? And what does digital well-being mean for children and their families in 2020, in the middle of the pandemic? What does it mean to be doing well with technology in home?